Hollis Farms this morning. It is cold this morning, below 30. Oh, hadn't done just a whole lot this morning. Me and Pete did a little feeding, and the wind's blowing about 15-18 miles an hour. As y'all can see, I got the Ranger hooked up behind the Titan. So what I'm wanting to do today, we're gonna run over to Mississippi. I got a couple of trail cameras with me. I'm wanting to play with something that I've never played with before. I've never done a lot of videoing with my trail cameras, and what I'm wanting to do is try to get me and y'all some footage of some of these wild hogs, some live footage. Just curious to see if it'll work. I hope I got my cameras set right for the video. And another thing I wanted to do, this is another reason that I wanted to get this half-ton truck, this Titan. I love the Toyotas and all, you know, but a lot of times I don't want to hook to my Dodges. I got all my hunting stuff in this truck. Now, this trailer's probably about as big as I want to pull with this Titan. It didn't squat it as bad as I thought it would, just the empty trailer. And with the Ranger, you know, if you put a ton of corn or something on there, I probably won't. I know it would pull a tractor and all, but I probably won't do that. I'll use the Dodges for that. But just wanted to kind of test it out and see how it handled the Ranger. And this trailer is a pretty good sized trailer, but not too big. That's why I bought the trailer, and kind of had in mind in the future that I might do this. Of course, the little Toyota with the 4-cylinder, you wouldn't ever want to hook to this. So this is just another reason that I wanted to get this little truck to just hook up to this trailer. I've got the little single axle trailer, but as much as I use one and hauling these Rangers, the single axle just wears the tires and you'll end up bending the axles and all that. But anyway, first time we're pulling a trailer with the Titan, and I had forgotten, I don't know if I showed y'all this feature, but it's got the built-in brake controller. Of course, it's showing the C connected, and when I first had it hooked it up to pull up in the driveway a little bit to load the Ranger, it was up on 7 or 8 and it just slid the tires. So I've turned it way down. That's another great feature that I like about this. I know they've had these for a long time, the built-in brake controllers in these trucks and Dodges and all. When I bought the 16 Dodge, I just got a base model, and it didn't have one built in it. We had to put one in it. But this is just another nice feature, and I know it works. I already slid the tires with it. So we're gonna get on the highway and we're gonna see how this thing pulls. I got it in the tow mode. I always like to do that in anything, if I'm in my Dodges, I put it in the tow mode just to take care of the transmission and make it work a little better. So we're gonna run over to Mississippi and get these trail cameras out, and I'll give y'all a little update how this thing's operating going down the highway. All right, y'all, we've been about 20-25 miles. The Titan is pulling this trailer fine. Of course, it's no comparison, you know, to the Dodge, but it's not supposed to be. Or even like Brian's truck, the XD or whatever they call it with the Cummins in it. It's a little bit bigger built truck. I didn't realize it, but that truck of Brian's with the Cummins in it is a whole different truck. I thought that it was the same chassis and all as this little Titan, but it's not. I'll call this kind of more of a mid-size type truck. So I mean, but it's pulling just fine. The brake controller's working perfect. I probably wouldn't want to pull much bigger of a trailer with it every day. Probably wouldn't want to pull this one every day, but it's doing just fine for no further than I'm going. Of course, if I take a trip pulling something heavy, I'm gonna hook to the Dodge, one of the Dodges. But so far, so good. I like it. Well, this truck rides good. It's smooth as can be. I hadn't had a truck like this in years and years, so it's kind of nice to have the little smooth, quiet ride every once in a while. So far, so good. All right, we got one set up. All right, number 2 set up. All right, y'all, me and Pete made it out. Got 2 cameras set. see what it does, and then we'll get us some bigger SD cards if we have to. But that's going to be interesting, getting some live footage from hogs and deer if it works. Looks like the hogs have found that feeder that we moved, so we'll leave them in there a few days and go check them out. May have to slip back in there and do a little hog hunt. So far so good with the new Titan. I'm liking it. I mean, you can tell the difference, of course, between the Dodge and this truck pulling it, but as far as just some every once in a while light duty pulling around and all, I think it's going to be fine. Of course, it's like any other truck you hook to. When you hook to something, the gas mileage starts going down, but that's to be expected. But anyway, we headed back. Dodge is taking him a nap. I mean, Dodge. I get these names mixed up like my kids. Pete's taking him a nap. We'll see what else we can get into the rest of the day. Alright, y'all, me and Pete made it back. Not just a ton going on today. Pretty happy with what the little Nissan did with the trailer and the Ranger today. I think we finna shut her down for the day and call it a day. If y'all like our stuff, subscribe to us, Hollis Farms. Hats, t-shirts, and stickers, hollisfarms.com. Appreciate y'all watching. Out of here.